Hello everybody and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. My name is Big Bill. How are y'all doing today? As I am doing good, as today is Wednesday. It's hump day. Well, yeah. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I do apologize. Today is hump day. Yes, today is Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. How are y'all doing? Hope you're all doing wonderful. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening, wherever you guys and girls are watching from. As today, today we're starting our long trip here on Euro Truck Simulator 2. I will get to that in a moment on why we're on Euro Truck Simulator 2, but let's talk about today's trip, shall we? Or the beginning of a new long trip. Thanks, Caravan. You wonder why I pulled out in front of you. You know, I think that's a different one. Yes, I did just say that. Oh, today we're hauling a double. Well, we're starting our trip. We're hauling a double. As you guys can see, this is not a B double. This time I opted to haul a double instead of a B double because I feel like we've been hauling too many B doubles. So why don't we just haul a double? And this time we're leaving Germany. We're leaving Frankfurt, Germany, and we're going to Lodz, Poland. Yes, we're going to the country of Poland. We're going to Lodz. We're leaving DSV and we're heading to UPS. Trip distance and trip time. Trip distance is 538 miles. Trip time is 12 hours and 52 minutes. Yeah. How'd that work out for you? I know I shouldn't do that. Road rage. What are we hauling? We're hauling plants and seeds. So not too bad, not too shabby. 14 tons is the load. The load is weighing in at 32,599 pounds. Not too bad, not too shabby. Once again, a nice simple run here for the Scania. We are making that money as this one is 34,597 euro, which is at 63 and 18 cents a mile. Or in this case, well, yeah, I have it on here as a mile, but I don't know if that would be different in kilometers. I don't know. See, a lot of you asked me that. Would that be different? I don't know how that works over in Europe. I don't know how. I mean, I hear the pay structure is almost the same for truck drivers over there. Like they get paid per the hour or paid by the kilometer, not by the mile. Now, so, okay. Guys, you things to talk about. Talladega is going to be one of the biggest things we're going to be talking about. How do I feel about the finish? And talking about Bubba Wallace, good old boy Bubba. We'll get to that in a moment. First topic at hand. Bill, you're on Euro Truck again. Yes, I know. I am. Where's ATS? So it was here last week or over the weekend. It must have been Friday. And I hate it when these guys do this. I really do. Honestly. It must have been over the weekend or on Friday. I don't know which one. Or even Thursday for that matter, because we didn't do an ATS video at all last week. My guess right now, it's either my guess right now, it happened over the weekend or it happened on a day that we were doing Euro Truck Simulator 2. But more or less of the story, for some reason the career profile wants to crash on me. I don't know if it's a mod conflict. I don't know if it's something with one of the mods not being updated or something with the game. I am not too sure on it. I'm actually trying to figure out as we speak. I actually did get an email or two about a couple mods being updated, so that might be why, because I did go and download them and then put them in the game. That could be a reason why, because some of the other profiles aren't fully updated yet. Now, When I say fully updated, they are getting ready to run a 1.59. Now, that's how some of the modders work. They get the stuff ready for the next update, which is 1.59. Like John Ruda, for example, he updated his Highway Killer, the Kenworth W900. He updated that mod. So he updated that mod. He did a whole bunch of stuff. I actually checked it. I actually downloaded it and checked it out on another profile on ATS, and he actually did a phenomenal job. They always do a phenomenal job. I will give my hats off to John Ruda and his team. They do a wonderful job. Now, not saying ATS might not be here till next week, or ATS might not be here till the week after. I don't know yet. I haven't yet fully discovered what the problem is. I do know that it's not a PC thing. It might just be a bot thing, so I know I do have a little bit of time here where I can upload or download new mods, or a freshly updated mod, as you like to say. So yeah. I want to pass these people. Police, or police. Yeah, we're also fighting the clock too. Let me get to that conversation here too before we jump onto the NASCAR topic. So as you can see in the top right hand corner there, we have 4 hours remaining. 9 hours and 41 minutes of drive time, or is our to our destination. So obviously this is going to be a part 1, part 2, which you guys are loving the part 1, part 2s over here on Euro Truck Simulator 2. Actually, when we clear this, I'll jump on the map and show you where I plan on stopping. Yes, I know I'm jumping from topic to topic. I can't help it. It's a force of habit. Baby mama or girlfriend will tell you that. They'll tell you the same thing. Actually, my family would tell you the same thing too. Actually, it's terrible saying that. I shouldn't say that. Alright, so alright, came through the tunnel, and now once we go around this corner, and let's jump to the map. So plan is to stop either right here, or actually right here. I think we're going to go to distance and stop here. We're going to be in Germany still. Pretty much just a straight shot for you guys. As you guys know, I like to make the highways yellow when we're going past one of these rest areas, which in some cases is possible, in some cases not possible, but that is the one we're going to be stopping at. We don't need fuel. This load is pretty light, so we shouldn't be burning on fuel. The only thing that's slowing us down for part 2 would be the tolls, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, one of you actually did take notice of this. I didn't take notice of this either. We actually went the same way we came down to Italy as we went back up. Yeah, I actually take notice of this, but yeah, this is the road that we used the whole time, and we pretty much made a loop. So if you guys didn't follow, we went to here first. Or no, we went to here. Got a short B double to here, another B double to here, and then we got a load to up here in Frankfurt from here. So we went to Bollinga, to Ljubljana, to Gianna, up to Frankfurt, and now we're going to Poland. So, and then while we're also on this subject, here you guys go. So yeah. Now I will say this. This might be a quick, long trip. Needless to say. So, anywho, all right. Enough on that topic. Enough on the topic why we're not on ATS. You know, I'm sorry. I do apologize. Do look forward to this weekend coming up. First Make-A-Wish of the year. Coming up this Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Can't wait. I know you guys love the Make-A-Wish Truck Convoy videos, so I will be doing another video for the Make-A-Wish Truck Convoy at the usual spot, as always. So I look forward to doing that every year, especially now that I have a little one of my own. He loves the trucks. He loves that I'm a truck driver. He loves the fact that his mother is now a school bus. Well, she's not really a school bus driver. She's a school van driver, but I guess you can count them as school bus drivers too. They do haul the kids from home to the school, so. So yeah. All right, let's get to the topic at hand, Talladega. Now you're wondering why, are we really going to sit here and talk about Talladega all the time? No, not really. That's why I left Talladega here for the ending of this trip, or the ending of this video actually. So how did I feel about stage 1? That is the first question I got asked. To tell you the truth, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was just pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna agree with me on that. Wasn't really racy, if we could say that. Trying to think. And this is just my opinion on it. You know, I'm fine with stage 1 being that lame. I'm fine with stage 2 and stage 3 being them short ones. You know, I think that was a good start for NASCAR. It's just that I just don't get the stages anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand. Okay, we're gonna put the caution out, then you know we're gonna put the caution out, and then they're gonna come down and pit, or someone's gonna stay out, or this or that, or this and that. You know what I mean? And the thing that draws me back from the stage races is, okay, they're racing for points. I get that. They're racing for points. They're trying to make the drivers earn some points. I get that. I do. But like, for F's sakes, some of the stages don't make sense at some of the races at all. And that's what gets me. And that's what really gets me is like, okay, like, look at Daytona and Talladega, 2 very different super speedways. Talladega being the longest super speedway on the schedule, and you know, so. Now let's get to the Bubba Wallace incident. I've heard so many things because, you know, Sunday wasn't really paying attention. And of course, we were busy at that. We were watching the race, but we were a little bit busy at that moment. So I didn't hear what Bubba Wallace had to say or hear what Bubba Wallace said on the radio. So here's my whole point. Because I got to ask this question. Hey, I know you're not the biggest fan of Bubba Wallace, but what would you say about that move that he did that caused the big one? Here's my whole thing. Here's my whole thing. At Daytona, what did the Toyotas do? They all backed off. They will not admit it. They all backed off and they made everyone go super slow, which caused, you know, a lot of chaos. Not a lot of them are going to admit it. Not a lot of Toyota fans are going to admit that. I feel like that's what Bubba was trying to do there in that little hindsight. Except Bubba was the leader of that middle group, where that middle group, yeah, they kept making them runs. That's the first thing I took notice after watching it, or when they showed a replay of it. You can see that middle line pushing to the point where, pushing to the point Bubba could get the lead if he wanted to. Like, Bubba could go to the top and block them guys, or to the bottom and block them guys, it'd make the right moves. Here, I think what happened was, and, I'm just guessing, I'm just estimating this because, I wasn't really paying attention because we were a little bit busy, even though we had the race on. I think what happened was, I think Bubba lifted, and I think Ross might have hit him a little too hard and he wasn't expecting it. That's my theory on it, but another theory I also just had, and after talking to someone else who watches NASCAR races as much as I do, we were thinking that Bubba might have been doing something on purpose. Like he wanted Ross to wreck him, or he wanted something to happen involving him. You know what I mean? Which I don't think Bubba would do that. Now, needless to say, the stuff that Bubba has done over the years, he's not the greatest light bulb in the package, but, and I'm not saying Bubba's a bad guy, I'm not saying Bubba's a bad race car driver, I'm just not a big fan of Bubba Wallace. Now, don't get me wrong, is it good to see that, with him at 2311? Absolutely. I feel like that's a good relationship. He does have a good relationship with Michael Jordan, he does have a good relationship with Denny Hamlin. Bubba will get there. I think it's just going to take a little bit more time. Now, my whole thing is at 2311, Tyler Reddick is getting the best equipment, and then Bubba. I think that's how it goes. I don't think Riley Herbst or Corey Heim is above Bubba yet. Now, truth be told, if someone were to join them or Corey Heim join them, I think that might lead to some controversy, but we don't know yet. So, I think it was just, I also want to say, I think it was just a racing move. I'm not blaming Ross Chastain for it. I'm not going to blame Bubba Wallace. I think it was just a mistake. And I honestly think, mistakes happen out there, especially on them super speedways, and it cost them. It cost most of the field too, because that field went from, I think it was 40 down to just, I think it was 14 lead lap cars without damage, I think. Maybe 16 cars. So, now, let's get to the other topic, because we don't have that much forward to go. Carson Hocevar, congratulations on your first victory. The celebration, and I'm actually applauding NASCAR and Steve O'Donnell. Jim France is stepping down. Steve O'Donnell is going to take over his position. I applaud Steve O'Donnell. I don't blame him at all. He's not going to fine Carson Hocevar. He actually enjoyed it from what he said. So, let me just double check. Yeah, this is the one. Sorry, I gotta cut you off. But I'm happy for Carson Hocevar. I think there's gonna be many victories to come. Who knows? He might end up getting a ride at Hendrick. You never know. So. We'll leave the lights on. Yeah, no, we're here. Alright, that's good. Parking brake. I'll hit enter when we do. Let's say how far we got to go. 4.5 hours. Yeah, it's not going to be that long of a trip for you guys. I know you guys are going to sit back, relax, and enjoy part 1 and part 2. So, before I keep rambling on about Talladega and keep rambling on about Everest things, don't forget this weekend, this Sunday, Make-A-Wish Truck Convoy. It will be recorded that day and it will be uploaded that day, and then we'll go from there. Now, When it comes to other games, Farming Simulator will be coming out hopefully next week. So, but anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Hope y'all liked the video. Hope you liked the trip, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care. And since I'm not gonna be talking in the next video for Euro Truck, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for all the love on here on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe.